Oh, I see.
And then
it's in record.
so now it's recording. Do you see it blinking record?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, it's recording.
Okay, so
Oh, is there
Yep.
sorry. Okay, so we are doing our color theory with tempera paint, and what you need for this is your papers that should be labeled. So the first thing we're going to do is the very first part is the easiest part. You need to paint one sheet of paper solid color, one solid color. So that's going to be, ta-da, not so tricky. Okay, so to do that, you're going to go and get some tempera paint and just go ahead and fill one sheet completely solid. It'll be the sheet that says solid, oh, this doesn't work, color on it, and it should have your name on it. Okay. Then after you have this one, you want to do first, because this is something you're going to work with your color theory later. So you need to have that dry to do the technique on that later. So this is one of your first sheets that you're going to do. The next thing you're going to do is the color blending for working with primary colors. And with that, you have colored sheets that, or paper sheets that are already labeled. You're working on the little bit rougher texture of the paper, and your labeled paper should already say on it from primary to secondary color. And what we're doing is we're doing two things. We're learning how to mix colors, and we're also practicing a technique of smooth blending. So on this sheet is going to be my sheet that goes from yellow, I need a different pencil, I feel like I should, to yellow, orange, to orange. These sheets you should already have labeled, so I will give those to you guys before. Okay. All right, so now we're ready to start painting. And one thing we're going to be doing is doing a smooth transition, kind of like a gradient, from one color to another and learning how to mix. We're working with tempera paint. It's a little bit cheaper, easier paint to kind of work with. We're going to do a volume of this stuff, so we're going to learn from the experience, and what we'll be doing is you're going to work with two primary colors, and likely you will have extra paint. So the plan will be to kind of share our paints as we go. But you're going to have about that much of each paint in your palette, and you're going to start with your brush. When you have your brush, you want to get your brush a little bit wet so that it's flexible, but not too watery. So you need to have water in a cup. Your water should be about halfway full, because you don't want your water too full, or when you're trying to clean your brush, you're going to splatter all over everybody. So halfway full, and when you're using water, you don't need warm water for the brushes, because one thing that will happen with warm water is it degrades the glue inside here, and then it ruins the brush. So cold water is fine, warm water when you're actually washing the brush out with soap at the end. So we're going to get our brush a little bit wet, and what we're going for here is, like I said, we're going to do a smooth transition. You have to work kind of quickly, and hopefully through this process you're going to learn how to blend and also how to mix colors. So the two primary colors I have here are yellow and red. You'll do two sheets using these two colors. So I'm going to start with getting some paint. I don't want my brush to be too watery, so use a paper towel to kind of dry it off before you get started, but then I'm ready to start. And what I want to do is start with the lighter color first, and I'm just going to cover, uh-oh, we got a little brush on there, that's okay, a little bristle. Get that out of there. Sorry. Okay, go ahead and start. You have to work kind of quickly. You'll be on top of newspaper like this so that you can work all the way to the edges. And now the secondary color that will be made between red and yellow is what color? Orange, yes. So we're going to take yellow, because yellow is the lighter color, red is darker. It's easier to change the lighter color than the darker color. So start with your lighter color, and I'm actually going to grab another one, because this is not the same palette you'll use, but take some of the lighter color and put it and grab a little bit of your darker color. So in this case, I'm going to mix yellow and red together, and I want to get a decent orange. So we already have studied about the different transition, intermediate colors of red, orange, and yellow, orange. So I'm going to make enough of it. So I'm going to grab some more of the yellow so that I have enough to blend with my yellow. So what's happening right now to my yellow while I'm doing this, it's starting to dry. So that's why I have to work quickly, and you're going to have to do your blending quickly. So this looks a little too much like a red yellow to me, or red orange to me. So I need to add a little more yellow to get a true orange. It's still a little on the red side. Okay, so that's a decent enough kind of orange. So I'm going to start with the orange from down here. And now I want to come to meet the lighter color, and I'm going to create that intermediate color in between the primary and secondary color, which is yellow-orange. So already this is starting to dry depending on the air in the room. Sometimes it dries faster, so I have to work really quickly. What I'm going to do is rinse my brush out, wipe it off again, get some of the yellow again, come back to where the yellow stopped, and I'm going to start to merge these two colors together. And I want it to look smoothly blended, like it's fading. So it's like a gradient, like a sunset, blending between the two colors. So you have to work quickly, whoopsie, so that you can get your colors to blend. Sorry. Now, what can happen sometimes is if I start going from the darker color up, the darker color will overpower the yellow, and all of a sudden I won't have enough yellow left. So sometimes you have to rinse it out and then go back down. Now, I'm looking for two things. One is the colors that you make, but also more important to me is just that you're learning the blending technique. If you do not have enough paint on here and it's too watery, it will be hard for you to fade and blend your colors. So try to use your paper towel to wipe off when you need to, grab some more of the paint, and then continue to blend in. Now right now I have these little bit of striped colors in here, and I don't know why that's happening. We'll work those out. So that looks pretty decent. So the goal is not stripes of color, but gradation and transition. So here are some examples of what other ones that I would see. This one is going from yellow to green, red to purple. This is not showing gradation and is not smooth blending. So I would say that this one, it has the green and yellow, but there is not that smooth blending technique that we're looking for. So that is not what you want to be doing, but you want to try to fade your colors. So you're going to end up with 6 total, going from yellow to red, or red to purple, or purple to blue, and those will be your different colors that you're working with for this process. That makes sense? I feel like that was
Yeah, no, it's great.
garbage.
Nope.
Word.